Alright, welcome back. This is going to be the first boss of the game, Big Top Bop. This is the Tropical Freeze any % guide. First boss of the game is not too difficult, although sometimes he can he can put a wrench in your works. You have to focus a little bit on the bosses. They're not usually too difficult, but it's easy to die. It's easy to lose a lot of time. And very specifically on this boss, you don't want to be losing Cranky Kong, because over the next couple of stages, you really need Cranky, and you don't get any Cranky barrels. Cranky is also necessary for this fight because of the prickly enemies that he's throwing down. You normally would not be able to hit those enemies at all, so you want to make sure that you're not only not losing Cranky by the end of this fight, but obviously don't lose him in the middle. I like to spend any downtime I have in this fight practicing jumping up the half pipe. And then this is about the only trick that you really need to master for this fight. Other than that, it's hard to save a lot of time on this fight. And done. So all of the bosses in this game take 9 hits. They're usually split into 3 phases, and they're usually denoted by a change in the skin or the fur of the boss that you're fighting. And every time you beat the boss of the world, you will automatically be sent to the next world. So, another reason why you don't want to lose Cranky, although there was a barrel right at the beginning, you would have to go through this entire animation, and then backtrack all the way. And then once you enter the stage, pardon me, you can pick up the barrel. You have to load in and then load back out, and loading takes a long time. Loading is the biggest reason why you can't just go lose Kongs and pick them up in another stage. So, time to go back in there, explain everything I just did. So, at the beginning of every stage, this cutscene will happen, no matter what stage you're in. You're just mashing out of it, just to remember. Now, you should still have Cranky from Trunk Twister. Hopefully you didn't lose him. But if you did die for whatever reason, you can pick him up right here, and then you can just break it with a roll. Now, the loading zone for the boss is really close to the start of the stage. So if you want to pick it up quickly, just be careful. You want to make sure that you actually have Cranky before you start rolling, because the cutscene starts playing automatically, like really quickly afterwards. You'll notice that you have the ability to hit Pompey pretty much the moment he gets in the half pipe. The moment you can hit his back is when you can start doing damage to him. Rude. And then he laughs at us. Okay, so starting off right away, I'm going to get in position for the first jump. The moment Pompey's nose touches the half pipe on the way back in, he'll jump up and then he'll start coming back down. That's usually when I jump. I'll just do a regular jump. It's not hard to get used to the timing of this. Make sure you do practice it. You don't want to get hit by him, because every time you do get hit by Pompey and he passes by, it costs at least 3 seconds for him to make it to the other side, jump, and then come back down. So we get the first hit in right here. And what he'll start to do now is he'll start to throw starfish at you. Or, not starfish, sorry. He'll throw green fish at you. take the first one out no matter what. It's not really a big problem. But as soon as the fish are off the screen, as soon as you've hit all 3 of them, is when he'll come back. So this is one way you can start to speed up this fight. You want to make sure that you get rid of them as quickly as possible. I like to wait in the middle to bait the first one. I'll throw it at you right there. And then after you bop on the first one, there's a small seam in the ground between the 2 starfish. That's where I'm standing for the second one, and there's a reason why I'm doing that. When the last green fish comes down, I'm going to back up just a bit because he'll be landing in a good spot. And then as soon as the green fish is pretty much lined up with the ground, I'll roll through him and then jump up the half pipe. And this will allow me to get pushed by the shield dudes who are on the side, and that'll allow me to hit the last fish while it's still in the air. This trick saves a small amount of time, but doing it both times saves a full second. And the higher you hit the fish, the more time you're saving. That one was pretty weak. I'll see if I can do better this time around. Now the second time around, there's going to be a prickly. This is why you need Cranky. So go ahead and use your cane. Bait it. Go. That one was pretty good. And then, so I've already done 2 hits on Pompey. And that's 3. Now, to do this this roll jump technique, you can either roll to the end and then jump up at the last second. It's right around here that you would start to slide. Or you can roll, jump, and then pogo all the way up. Either one will get you the full height. Now, in the second phase, Pompey will start to roll, so you can't hit him right away. You have to wait until he does 1 roll. Now that he's jumping, wait for it. Okay, this is just about where I would be ready to jump. Perfect. Now 8 penguins are going to come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. The faster way of getting this next hit on Pompey is to damage boost through the 8th one. So 7, take a hit, and then you can just pogo up and jump right through Pompey's hitbox. Because of the fact that you have invulnerability frames, you just go right through Pompey and then you land on him immediately. If you lost track of which penguin that you've bounced on, or if they're too far away, because normally they're supposed to go about where you are, they want to land on you, and that's what they're going to try to do. But if the last one's too far away, you can still damage boost through Pompey. You're honestly saving just like the tiniest bit of time by damage boosting through the 8th one instead of Pompey himself. You can damage boost through Pompey without problem though. So that was the second hit of phase 2. He's going to go ahead and roll again, try and get us, just jump over him, not a big problem. And then we'll do 1 more hit right here. Very good. Like I said, I like to do this because it helps me practice those crucial jumps that I need to save time in the first phase. He's going to summon a small penguin army. Now, if you miss any of these, they'll keep swinging around the half pipe. So you want to try and get all of them on their first time through. Now, here's the setup to get that last fish while he's still in the air. You want to go sit in the middle. He's going to throw the first fish at you, and I'm willing to bet that he's going to be on the right side, throwing the fish to the left. It's not a big deal which side of you that he's on. Just by experience, I have a feeling that that's what he's going to do. So I'm going to angle myself to be ready for that. I will jump to the far side of the fish. So if he's on the right side, throws the fish in the middle, I'll move to the left a bit. Same vice versa. And what you want to do is you want to do a full pogo when the fish lands. So you're going to jump in the air slightly before he lands. Full pogo, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can just go right ahead. You're doing full pogos the whole time, so you do a full pogo and then you do a full bounce off the fat dude 1, 2, 3 times. The prickly Pete will be coming up at that time. You've given him enough time to rise to the highest part of his arc, and the last fish comes in, and then when you pogo off the prickly Pete, you'll be actually just high enough to land on the fish without having to worry about taking damage. You can just bop off of him 3 times. Very simple. Now Pompey's going to try and come landing down on us. If you don't have any damage, again, you can just take damage through Pompey, jump in the air, and then you'll land on him before he does his attack animation, because he jumps a lot of times in that last one, which is really annoying. Then he'll just summon the penguins 1 more time. It doesn't matter if you miss any of these because this is the last hit. And that's Pompey. Pretty easy, dude. Not too difficult to beat. So one more time with full speed, we're going to go ahead and default it to cranky, just because I would rather be able to grab him right away than have to wait a second, but it doesn't really matter what you do. And here's the cool part, you can actually take it with you into the cutscene, and it automatically breaks, for whatever reason. Silly time attack stuff. So these are starfish on the ground, you can actually interact with them by slapping the ground. You actually knock them down. Pompey can also knock down these starfish. There's one on the side of the half pipe. He usually gets that one because you actually can't. There's one more on the left that I haven't touched. I'll try and get that one down. Ooh, okay, that one was pretty bad. Oh, and he knocked down the starfish. That's okay. You have just enough time to do this trick twice before he comes back up. Do keep in mind that, like, you can't move the moment you land. You can try, but you don't really have control right away. So you want to be careful not to get caught by Pompey while screwing around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Most of the time when you have taken a damage of heart, for whatever reason, the enemies will give you a heart back. So it's very useful on bosses, because there are actually some bosses where you're going to be damage boosting a lot. It's funny that the game is kind and takes pity on you in that regard. Once again, you just want to get them out of the way so that they're not spinning forever, you know, swimming around the arena. One, two, three. Very good. Okay. And that's pretty much like the hardest trick that you'll have to do. Everything else is pretty conventional, not too difficult. All right. $204. Shiny gold. Is that really a new record? I don't remember when the last time was that I actually went for all these, but oh well. So that wraps it up for World 1. Next time we will be tackling Autumn Heights. It's a very fun world. This is where a lot of runners consider that the speed run actually starts. You know, this if you do all the strats in the guides that I've been showing you so far, the first 4 stages and the first boss gets me a time of roughly 10 minutes 35 seconds, and 10 minutes 35 seconds kind of varies. My best time so far has been like a 10:28, but it's honestly it's so repetitive. You get to, like, you know, min-max everything you can. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope this guide helped you out, and looking forward to World 2. Take care.